In this video I'm going to focus on modular arithmetic, and it's something that I don't feel like I learned until college. I took a course on number theory and learned quite a bit about modular arithmetic and modular mathematics. And honestly, as the title said, it's basically what's the remainder in a division problem. That's a good summary of modular arithmetic. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a basic problem here so we can discuss it and I can teach a little bit about what it is. And I have my variable x equal to 9. Let's just say that I'd like to know if 9 is odd or even. Or let me rephrase that. I know that it's odd, but I need my program to know if it's odd or even. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a little modular arithmetic. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to try to discover what the remainder is when I divide by 2. Think about that for a minute. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Remainder equals 9. Now, modular arithmetic in Java is the percent sign. So it says what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 9 mod 2. What that really does is it says do 9 divided by 2 and tell me what the remainder is. Okay, and then I'm going to output the remainder. Now, we should know that if we do 9 divided by 2, 2 doesn't go into 9 very nicely. There's going to be 1 left over. So the remainder should be 1. And when I run this output, there it is, my remainder is 1. Now, it's important to realize now what I've just done is test to see if a number in my program is odd or even. If my remainder is 1, it's going to be an odd number because 2 doesn't go into it very well. If the number is even, my remainder is going to be 0 because it would be a perfect division problem with no remainder. Now, it's important to remember that that percent symbol, the percent symbol, is basically modular arithmetic. Okay, now what does it mean? Modular arithmetic really just means find the remainder to a division problem. Okay, that's all it's asking you to do. Do 9 divided by 2, right here, 9 divided by 2, and find the remainder. So that was just a basic even odd, is the remainder 1, is the remainder 0. But if I were to change these two numbers, and really what I should have done here is use the variable x because I never accessed it, but it'll give me the same answer. And I'll run it again just to show you that it's odd. Now, what if x was an even number? Like I said, the remainder should be 0. So I'll just do a problem here where x is 20, and then I'll do 20 divided by 2. That means what's the remainder? It's nothing. It's 0. My output is 0. Of course, if I wanted to do a more challenging question, not too difficult here, but 17, and I did 17 mod 5. Think about that. It's basically just asking me what is the remainder if I were to take 17 and divide by 5. Well, 5 goes into 17 3 times with 2 left over. So the remainder, or the answer to this mathematics problem right here, is 2. That gets dumped into the variable remainder, and then we print out the number 2. And there you go. So basic modular arithmetic, remember, is that it is what's the remainder if this were a division problem right here. That's all it's asking you for. And that's used, actually, if you think about different scenarios where maybe you have, say, 52 cards in a deck, and you're going to write a computer program here, and you're going to make a new card game. And for a 5-player game, you want to know how many cards are left over after you deal everybody a card. Well, it would look kind of like this. Maybe I would redefine my variable as cards, and I'm going to use a standard deck of cards, so there are 52 cards. And instead of a remainder, I would like to call it leftover cards. Okay, and in the leftover cards, I would take the number of cards there are, which are 52, and I'm going to deal them out to 5 players. And this is actually exactly what I'm looking for. This would be, I want to print how many leftover cards there are, because what I'm really doing here is I'm saying there are 52 cards. I'm going to divide them into 5 piles because there are 5 people playing, and I want to know how many leftover cards there are. Now we should know that there's going to be 2 leftover cards, and that would be tell me I've got 2 cards left over, and I would have to define some rules for my game as to what to do with those 2 cards. Or maybe we'd have 6 players here. If we had a 6-player game, well, 6 goes into 52. Let's see, 8 times, because 8 times 6 is 48. And that means we'd have 4 left over. So when I run this, I'd now have 4 cards left over for this card game. So that's basic modular arithmetic. A lot of high school students don't learn that in high school. You have to wait till a college course, or you get to programming. Now, it is very common, and it's actually a pretty important math concept when it comes to dividing things into piles, counting things, and breaking people into groups and different things like that. So there you go. That's basic modular arithmetic. Remember, it is the percent symbol in Java, and it just talks about what the remainder is.